Oh, baby, we're back! Kinda. Damien's not here with us tonight, but I'm Sean. This is Mike, and we are bringing you some Kenobi pre-show chat and all the good stuff wrapped in a slice of bacon. Mike, it has been, I think it's been, oh my gosh, it would have to be 95 plus days.
Yeah, about that.
Since the book of Boba Mandalorian.
Since the book was closed.
The book has been closed, and honestly, I don't anticipate them bringing it back, but I think they are going to bring it back.
Well, now that the Mandoverse is expanding, that we found out today, like he'll be back. I don't think the book will be back.
Yeah,
maybe like an epilogue will be back.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting. So we're using a new platform here called Restream. This is a platform that I use for multi-streaming across several live platforms. So normally this is used for extra techie stuff and gaming, and we've been playing Resident Evil Village. And we can do things like this, and make sure you follow everything at bio.link/extra techie. Your boy just got verified on that platform, and it was unprompted verification. So now I got a blue little check mark. So everybody's got to deal with that now that we're very fancy. And we're approaching 450 subscribers on Extra Techie. We're working really hard on that channel. I think we're at 47 on the Star Wars one, but that's with no work done on that in a very long time. And hopefully we can gain, the goal would be maybe to get to 100 by the end of it. So my question, looking at this darn platform, is how do I share this show out right now without leaving my screen? I think, hold on. I think if I go up here, there I am. Boom. Copy the link address, go into, bring up my Twitter right here. Live now, surprise. Live now, surprise. And let's just bring this out. Live now, surprise. Surprise. I think I'm spelling surprise wrong.
Surprise
or surprise?
It's surprise.
Surprise, right? Okay, just kidding. All right, we're good. So we're back. I'm interested to see if we can get some viewers in here and some chatters. And we'll see if anybody from the Red 5 Network will come on in. Speaking of the Red 5 Network, Extra Star Wars and Extra Techie are part of the Red 5 Network, a content creator's dream where you can be as committed to your platform or your voice or your niche, or as decommitted to it. So they know me. They know I brand out every once in a while. And we've, again, like I said, we've been focusing on that gaming content. But we're back in Star Wars land. And let me set the record straight. I've been down on Star Wars. I'm down on it right now. Does that comment make sense, Mike?
I'm having a lot of, I think I said it today to you, it's very much going the Marvel route where it's like just too much content.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that could be a thing for something that I love so much.
Yeah.
But like Boba just left a bad taste in my mouth, and everyone is so hyped up for Kenobi. And I think Kenobi's going to knock it out of the park and put it like back on track. But I don't want it to go the same route as Boba, where such a legendary character has such a terrible story.
Yeah.
That is my biggest fear for this show.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think I tweeted out today, and I sent you guys the tweet that basically said, wow, I just saw the Andor trailer, and now I'm thinking that I can start missing Star Wars stuff, but won't miss anything at the same time, or something along those lines. You know? And that's a sad thing because Star Wars was must-see television, must-see TV, must-see movie, must-see this, must-see that, because it was so rare. And now it's I hate to be negative to it, but even me, the positive I'm a very positive person, and I can't keep up my energy
Yeah.
for all of this stuff right now. And I don't know if I'm just, again, it's just a little watered down action and I don't know.
And it's like what I texted you guys today about Skeleton Crew. I was like, what is Skeleton Crew? Let me and I just,
Yeah.
did a quick Google search. Oh, 10 misfit orphans trying to find their way around the galaxy with Jude Law and John Watts being attached to it as the
Yeah.
creator. I'm like, I like all these names attached to it, but like you put it perfectly. Is this the Lord of the Flies and Mandoverse?
Right. Yeah. And that actually sounds interesting to me, because
Yeah.
it's so weird and it's not close to our story and it's what's is it a Star Wars because it takes place in the same galaxy, or is it Star Wars because it's attached itself to the Skywalker saga?
Yeah.
And that's the big question and conflict that they've been dealing with ever since the tragedy of the sequel trilogy. Sorry, for where I'm at now after talking about it for, think of it this way: the last time Star Wars Celebration, they were showing the final trailer to the Rise of Skywalker Celebration 2019,
Hmm.
and that it just I don't think it's defendable. It's just not defendable at this point, and now they're trying to rebuild up something and fill in gaps, and I think
Hmm.
Ahsoka is going to be really good. I think that's going to be easy because she's an easy to like character. Andor is going to be a weird stepchild.
Hmm.
The uncle, uncles can go both ways at parties. They can be real fun or real drunk.
Yeah.
And we hopefully it's not that nasty uncle, but
But every now and then you get a combo of both that just is the best.
yeah,
The
like
combo of the fun drunk uncle.
yeah, the funkle.
I I don't think Andor is gonna be that.
No, no, and we know, we know. I think he said something on stage today that was like, "What are they going to do? Kill me off? They can't. I survived this show." And he's right. And that's the problem with it is that we kind of know where it goes.
Mhm.
But I wonder if he's very happy in this show, and then we show him, and then it shows like how the Empire just wears him down to where he gets to the point where he's killing spies
Yeah.
in Rogue One, like offing them and doesn't trust anybody. Like so that's like that'll be a cool character exploration. And I liked Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
I liked Cassian Andor in Rogue One
Number 1.
for what it was. Rogue One being probably one of the better Star Wars story outside of trilogy movies.
Was only
Easy.
that and Solo.
That's definitely better than Solo, I can tell you that.
How dare
For
you?
For sure. Stop it. Stop it. Rogue One is definitely better than Solo. Although I do love me some Donald Glover for sure. He
Um,
did a great job. But anyways, we'll get to more Star Wars Celebration stuff. So this will be a real quick live stream as we're testing out the Restream platform, and hopefully it sounds great. Hopefully it looks great minus the webcams, and we we'll start off on our big topic which is what are your expectations for Kenobi and why?
let's see. So I went into Kenobi. I really didn't wanna read too much into it. Like, with Mando, with Boba, I read so much about it. I went into Kenobi. I didn't wanna read anything because I didn't wanna hype myself up. I didn't wanna be let down. So I am going into this essentially with fresh eyes and a
Right.
fresh mind and things that I wanna see, things that I'm hoping to see, things that I'm expecting to see. I'm treating Kenobi as kind of like the I've told you this before. The Jesus 13 to 33 years where nothing is
Yes.
written about Jesus in the
Right.
Bible,
Right.
and you have no idea what happens.
Right.
I am really excited to see the dynamic between Kenobi and Owen.
Hmm. Hmm.
Really excited to see that. I'm really excited to see the sisters,
Yep, the
uh,
Inquisitors. Yep,
the
for sure.
Inquisitors.
Yep, yep.
I'm excited to see the Inquisitors. I fear that this is going to turn into live action Fallen Order.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, your connection is Fallen Order with the
Mhm,
Inquisitors. That's, but really the Inquisitors goes back to Rebels. So there's a lots of connections between some animated shows and Fallen Order and then into this show. And I think
mhm,
that's one of those things where they've done a good job at sewing those connections, unforced.
mhm.
This is all part of that weird timeline, the Jesus timeline, as you would say.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great detail to think about. I have incredible expectations for this show. I did a little burnout after Book of Boba Fett, and between the Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, which was I think over 100 days when the Book of
Mhm,
Boba Fett finally ended. I scheduled out for myself almost 13. I think it was 13. Yeah, 13 weeks. Each week, I was going to do a live show on comics and get through all the comic books that I had. And I got to week 7 or 8, and I got through all the High Republic comics. And actually,
yeah.
that was kind of my big goal, was to get caught up on the High Republic. Phase 1 just ended, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And I was burned out. I was burned out just like consuming all this content all at one time, and I was reading like 13 a week and doing a summary on it. And yeah, I was grinding real hard, and I just I'm gonna take a break from all the Star Wars stuff. So the point of that statement is I've the same like you. I haven't really read into the Kenobi stuff. I don't want to know. I haven't really I haven't really diagnosed the trailers too much. I watched them and I'm like, cool. I like where it's going. And then that
Mhm,
was the last time I watched it. And then I watched it for the first time again today, just during the live stream of the celebration. And Ewan and Hayden were on stage together. There was a little interview, and I caught a wonderful clip. You can now clip things on YouTube. I don't know if you know that. You can kind of get these little moments and set up like a 20-second, and it goes into your like clips folder, and then people can
mhm.
watch them. So the host Andy, no, wow, what's his name? I forget. It doesn't matter. He goes, "Do you have anything to say to the crowd?" And then Hayden Christensen just goes into the mic and says, "This is where the fun begins," right? Like, and that's great stuff, and
Yeah,
that is hyping me up. And I mean, we're hours. It's 10 p.m. on the East Coast right now. We're 5 hours away from that debuting, because it's 12 o'clock Pacific time. I think it debuts, and
yep.
I bet you they have a Kenobi watch party in Anaheim right now. They're gearing up for it, and that's probably what an incredible experience that would be just by itself. But I have incredibly high expectations for Kenobi. Um, at the same time, I don't know if you're aware, a new novel dropped called Brotherhood, which focuses in on the Anakin Obi-Wan relationship,
Hmm.
prequel era,
Yeah.
in that area. I don't know when exactly. I imagine it's going to be obviously between 2 and 3. That makes the most sense. And I haven't picked it up. I just, one of those things, again, burned out. Was literally like, I'm struggling to get through the last High Republic book. They went real wokeness in this final book. Lots of pronouns, lots of protests and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which I'm fine with. But I was just like, I don't know if I do feel like dealing with that. And so I haven't gotten that yet. And hopefully, maybe soon, maybe not. And I'm kind of booked out right right now at
Books are
the
the
end.
worst.
It's just so much work, and it's crazy because I can blow through a book in an afternoon. If I sit down with it and I grind it, I can grind it out. But then I'm like, well, then I'm gonna have to make a video on it. I'm gonna have to do this whole thing with it. And then I end up not reading the chapter because it's like a cycle. So yeah, I would say that just based on the fact that, I mean, when Hayden was announced, I was like, wow, that's intense. Bringing back old characters like the Owen character.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll have the Lars Homestead.
Mhm.
We're gonna get a scene where eventually Ray buries the lightsabers there. So that's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah.
Um, do we get some pod racing in this show? I don't know. But that leads me to the next question of like, what should be in the show? Like, what should be in Kenobi at a minimum?
Well, what one more just let me just add
Yeah,
one
yeah,
more
yeah.
expectation. I expect Christensen to redeem himself.
Love it. Just as an actor.
Just as a like a performance wise,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Anakin to Vader now, I
Yeah.
expect him to redeem himself fully.
Yeah. And guess what? They embraced him at
Yeah.
Celebration. Full
Mhm.
send. Full send. Um, I mean, he had what, Jumper? That was his movie movie after. And then he fell off the face of the planet.
Yep.
And the the fans, we're talking about 20 years. I mean, 20 years since Attack of the Clones, so 20 years since he first debuted,
Mhm.
right? And 20 years is a long time
Yeah.
for people to think
Wow.
about. I mean, but Jesus,
Something just fell underneath my desk.
um, don't worry about it. Pick it up later.
Deal with it later.
The acoustics sound great. No, and new room. And I think people are going to embrace him. It all depends on like. And anyway, so like anything that should be in the show, I think for a certain, if we don't have a flashback of him not Vader, of them buddying up, battling droids, it doesn't matter what it
Mhm.
is. But I hope he reprises his role as Clone Wars era Anakin and Vader. Can he do the Vader voice? That I don't know. They backed them, not that they backed themselves into a corner, but James Earl Jones should not be the voice of it, Vader. If we
No.
do hear voice of Vader, they can get anybody else, the animated person, whoever the voice actor is. He does a great job.
The Lego Star Wars guy, let him do it.
Just noises, it doesn't have to be English. It doesn't matter because you can synthesize. If they can synthesize Mark Hamill,
Mhm.
they can do Vader without a problem. So let's just
1000%.
see what happens. But yeah, no, I think that should. I am expecting a duality of character, and when I'm not even talking about Kenobi, I'm just talking about full send. Hayden Christensen must be seen as Anakin, must be seen as Vader in some capacity. Your turn.
I am fully expecting to see, or what should happen is Qui-Gon Jinn as a Force ghost.
You son of a gun. Oh my god. That is such
I
a high expectation.
I don't I don't want I don't want a Han Solo appearance. And there's that one scene in the trailer that everybody is saying that's Han Solo, where you see the blaster. I
Yeah, we don't need that cameo.
We don't need that cameo, and
Yeah,
especially since if it was that cameo, I'd want it to be Alden. I
that's
don't
cool.
I don't want them to go to the CGI well that much.
Yeah,
Even though they did an amazing job the second time they
yeah.
brought Hamill around to it,
Yep.
I don't want them going to that CGI well too much. But also, I don't know if Kennedy is saying it to throw us off the trail of like, well, we're not going to bring him back. Talking about Alden or Alden, whatever his name is.
Right.
Um, but I don't. Side note, I don't understand the hate that he gets for playing Han Solo.
It's hate based off of prejudice because he's not Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
That's it.
I will go to this is a hill I am willing to die on. That he did an amazing job
I thought he
with
was fine.
within those circumstances,
Yeah.
where, you fire the 2 directors, which I wanna see the Lord and,
Miller. Yeah.
Miller cut.
Yep. Who, by the way,
Um,
they did Spider-Verse, which won lots of awards.
the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they perfectly would. I'm going on a tangent, whatever. They perfectly would have captured the Han Solo style,
Yeah.
and then you bring in Ron Howard to be safe, and it turns into a crap movie. That aside,
It turned into a safe movie.
yes.
it was my well, this
You
is not a
always tell me.
solo. This is not a solo discourse. We never had really a solo discussion, but my biggest issue with Solo is I thought it was setting up like a 3-movie arc where
Mhm.
like each movie we would get a characteristic of Solo. Like he got his ship, he got his gun, he got his he got all this stuff like in an inventory knapsack in a game in a tutorial. And then he was just Han Solo and I'm like, "Oh, I
Yep.
thought this, we're going to air this out a little bit." And then all of a sudden they're going to Tatooine and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, like there was a lot of potential for like Solo 2,
Mhm.
Crimson Dawn
Yeah.
and go into the real underworld. How does he get so in debt to Jabba that he now has to take Uber rides from old people? Like, come on now. But I don't know. They didn't. I don't know.
With that being said, I do expect to see I wanna see some, like, Crimson Dawn. Maybe a Kira appearance, 'cause
That'd be cool.
I think maybe Jabba's gonna show up.
I mean, if Crimson Dawn is in play, then Maul is in play.
Yeah, exactly.
But if Maul is in play, that does the that'd be a little detrimental to the Rebels episode of it's called Twin. I don't know if have you ever watched Rebels? All of
I
Rebels?
like, dabbled a little
Yeah.
every now and
All
then.
right. Well, Maul does die to the hands of old Kenobi
Mhm.
during this episode called Twin Sons.
Yeah.
And Scarif Scuttlebutt checks in on the pod tonight. And will Kenobi be in the Kenobi series? Great question.
Are you talking about old Ben?
Yeah.
You mean old Ben? Old Ben Kenobi?
Old Ben Kenobi has AARP through the Tatooine Tashi station. No, that's a good question. So we were just discussing that things that should be in the show: Qui-Gon Jinn appearance, Hayden Christensen as Anakin in a flashback should be is an oldish Ben Kenobi. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's two good ones. That's two good ones, and we're gonna actually get the same take with Damien. I think I'm gonna come on here live early tomorrow morning before I watch Kenobi, just to chat with him for about a half hour. That way we get everybody's. I always like to get everybody's pre-opinions before we move on. But anyways, anything else you think they should add before we just move on to our next talking point?
No. I
All
think
right.
I've hit everything that I wanted to
All
say.
right, here we go. So here's a good question. So tomorrow morning we are going to get 33% of the series.
Mhm.
So 1/3 of of the whole series is done tomorrow, which will leave us with 4 weeks left of show. So 5 total weeks. Being a 6-episode series, how long should each episode be?
I'm gonna say in that 40 to 45-minute range, maybe episodes 5 and 6 go into that 55 to 60-minute range.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, cuz I mean, we basically get an 80-minute made for TV movie
Mhm.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if did they always write it knowing that episode 1 and 2 were going to be a back-to-backer? So will it be an appropriate cut or I think they ended up moving. Kenobi was supposed to be out by now, Wednesday.
Yeah.
That was the original date, right? So um the will the writing, Deborah Chow
Mhm.
directing, full set, 6 episodes, just her. Love that idea, by the way, because that's really where they failed on most of the other movies. But 44, you know, I'm interested in the title sequence. Will it just be the Dusty thing, like in the trailers? Will John Williams wrote the title sequence, his theme. So that should be interesting. I wonder what his theme will be like if we get a little tonal
Is
reminder of the
Williams
prequel.
doing all of the music or just, like, brought back to do the theme?
I thought he was just brought back to do the theme, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I've been very, very distant to all the little
Mhm.
intricacies and secrets, and like even casting, I don't even know who's in this show right now, and
Ku
that's
I know
sad.
Kumail Nanjiani's in it.
Who is that?
He was in the Eternals,
Oh yes, yes, I did
thanks,
see.
Scarif. Scarif,
Yes,
just the,
just the
theme.
theme. Good question by Ro here. What was the longest episode of the previous shows?
The one Book of Boba Fett went, like, it hit that 59-minute mark,
That's right.
and it was rounded up to 60, and you were adamant that it was a full hour, and
Bullshit.
"The it
Book of
is."
the book of bullshit. That's what it was. Oh my god. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, but nothing has that's right. I do remember arguing that because I was like, it actually went at an hour. Um,
And then my argument was that
the
there
title
was
sequence
15 minutes
of
of
recap.
no, not of recap, of, credits.
You know, it's important to see the Danish version of the credits.
Dansk.
Yes, exactly. With credits, sans credits, it was 43 minutes. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So moving on.
Now back to your what
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
I had an idea that formulated when we were talking about Williams. What I thought would be cool for their episode, Mandalorian had chapters, Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett had chapters as well?
No.
I forget. Oh, no, it just had chapter title. It didn't say, like, chapter 1 like Mando.
Still a good theme.
If I had the idea that if Williams was doing all of the music or most of it, it would be every episode would be the title of the Williams score. So,
Oh,
like, and a title would be like Duel of the Fates kind of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That would be awesome. But now that I know that he's just doing the theme, that idea goes in the trash.
Well, we already have the title. Just breaking news. We have the title of the Williams theme. It's Oldish Ben Kenobi.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, in the comics, there's the Journal of Old Ben.
Mhm.
That's like a thing. Every once in a while, it'd be like, I was able to see the boy today. Like written in Arabic and stuff like that. Which I don't know. They don't have to. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to make any titles. They could just call it, beginning.
Yeah.
Beginning, middle, and end. Like I don't know. But I try to think like this is not exactly Mandoverse, right? Limited series, so they don't have to connect it to anything and
Mhm.
whatever. So, although I would like to see a young Mando because he would be alive, right? He'd be alive.
Yeah.
Should be. He's like 50,
Yeah.
right? He's 50 now. In
He'd be a youngling. So he'd be
should he be 20ish?
elsewhere.
30 years, 35 years, 37 years, something like that. Maybe 40. Yeah, I think you're right. Trying to think of the timeline there.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right. I had a question of what role will Vader have in the series? What role? Like, is he just the menacing background? Clearly, this Black Inquisitor, this strong Black female Inquisitor, seems
Mhm.
to be the head. But this strong
Leva or Leva,
Reva, something like that.
something Eva.
A under my Reva umbrella. She's not in the animated show,
No,
and she's not in Fallen Order.
no.
So,
She doesn't have the title of sister.
oh, is that true?
The legit name, Leva, like, there was no,
Okay.
like, sister attached to it.
Interesting. Yeah. Hmm. I didn't think about that. So is she a recruit? Like, is
Mm.
Kenobi Vader's mission to her to be to an official Inquisitor?
Hmm.
Like, is that her mission now? Which means, kind of like what Palpatine does in the background. Shut your mouth. Palpatine often gives Vader these weird little tasks to keep him busy
Mhm.
from taking over. You know what I mean? So, the Inquisitors are always, just like anything, they're always looking to take over. The Inquisitors were created by Vader's team to hunt Jedi. He wasn't doing the whole thing, because while they're hunting Jedi, he's looking for Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's doing. That's all he's concerned about at this point. But he doesn't know that Skywalker exists just yet until the Death Star blows up. But my guess is, are you okay with him avoiding Tatooine, Vader? Like that makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I'm
Okay.
fine with that.
Listen, I don't want your IMDb stuff. I don't need fancy IMDb insights.
I also don't trust IMDb with anything before the show comes out.
Yeah. Internet Movie Database, not Internet Limited TV Series on Disney Plus database, guy.
Also, if Hello There is the title of the first episode, I
be.
will lose my goddamn mind.
It should be. I agree to that. I agree to that full.
And if that's not the first two words that are uttered out of Ewan McGregor's mouth, I will stop watching the show immediately.
Has to be. It has to be. It has to be. It has to be. And if it's not, okay, we're going back to point 2. Anything that should be in the show, it should open with Hello There.
Yes.
Like him waking up to these little kids, like he's like a bum, like a homeless. And hello there. And he's just like parched and stuff like that.
Or with Tusken Raiders, he's just like waking up on a speeder or something. There's Tusken.
Yeah. What is this? What is this freebie? Isn't that what Peacock was or something like that? I don't know. Freebie. I thought I heard about that. Some kind of streaming platform. But anyways. So so I don't think we're gonna get a full Vader. They should just have a Vader show, man. Like they really should.
Yeah.
They should take all the inspiration from the comics and just have a straight up Vader gore fest and do that. But it shouldn't be this show, right? That's just what it is. So, do you have any thoughts that Vader will like make an impact here, or no?
I don't think there's really going to be an impact. I think it's going to be like almost like split screen or like Tale of Two Shows, where you're going to see the origins of Christensen becoming Vader, and you see the scenes where it's like everything's getting put on him and whatnot. I don't think you're going to see, even though the trailers are setting it up, you're not going to see Obi-Wan and Vader like face to face.
So you don't think they're going to have a battle? You don't think there's going to be a lightsaber battle here?
I don't think so at all.
Interesting.
I don't think there's going to be.
I fully expect a lightsaber battle. Fully expect, which will help. I think 97 Bravo and one of our Red 5 members put out a good little rabbit hole earworm where it sort of will, if they do battle, it will have implications to the last time I saw you I was just the learner, now I am the master, and that technically that speaks to the Revenge of the Sith, right? Their final battle of the friends. But it also could be this upcoming battle.
Well, Kennedy apparently said there is a battle, and it's the rematch of the century.
I believe she was referring to Star Wars fanboys and the current story group. It will be the rematch of this century for sure. Yeah, maybe. I hope so.
With the tidbits in the comments, loving it.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate it. He rose the best, but there could be another battle we have yet to see. Indeed. So, wrapping back to expectations, on April 29th, 2022, I put out a 7-day poll. It got 78 votes. 78 votes. I think that's a pretty good sample size.
Yeah.
I said, just a few short weeks now to Kenobi, where do you rate your excitement level for this new limited Disney Plus series? High expectations, in the middle, low expectations. What is Kenobi? So I will, it had 6 retweets, 2 quote tweets, 10 likes, and somebody blocked me. So that was a fun interaction. 56.4% state. Wait a second. Can I do this? Hold on one second.
Uh-oh. You getting fancy on us?
I'm gonna get fancy real quick. Hold on 1 second. We can do this. Oh, baby!
Bada bing.
Look at this. I forgot this was a TV video thing. 56.4% have high expectations. I'm part of that group. 29.5 are in the middle. They're tempering. 10.3 have the low expectations. And of course, nearly 4% say, what is Kenobi, which I always find fun. But if we do the math backwards, we've got 96.2% have expectations for the show, which is good. I mean, I think that's really great. And, Ro, who is Scarif Scuttlebutt, I have high expectations, but I always want Star Wars to be top echelon entertainment. I don't understand when people say don't go in with high expectations when you won't get let down. It's a weird way to think. Well, that's how I treated my wedding, and I'm still very happy. Chantel, who's part of the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. High as a kite. Wait, what? It's Jedi Knight, not Kite. Yeah, we had some fun there. Rural Farm Boy, to rate is for critics. Yes, I'm a critic. Wait, who actually clicked what is Kenobi? I said the Sand people only know him as the dragon in the sands. Exactly. So that's it. And then to this person, you're unable to view this tweet because there's a counter limits who can view their tweets. And I think they posted some sort of like no one cares GIF. And I said, wow, the blurriness of this GIF is outstanding. Thank you. And that's the poll. That's the expectations that the general internet had. And that was almost 1 month ago. So 1 month ago, I wonder if I ran the same poll after seeing Hayden and Ewan on screen together, that there would be some. Wait a second. Can I do that clip?
Not knowing anything about like the script or the story, I had high expectations just knowing that the best part of the prequel series was coming back to play that part too.
100%.
Like when it was first announced, I was like, I don't care what the story is. Ewan McGregor's coming back to play Kenobi. I already immediately had high expectations.
And his announcement, Kathleen Kennedy announcing him, are you going to come back and play Kenobi? And he said yes. And the whole place just was like so exciting. This is the clip I was talking about earlier.
Anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
I mean, just listen. Look, it's incredible.
Look at all those lightsabers in the crowd.
Anything
that's it, and that's the YouTube clips feature. So if you don't know how to do that, that is actually really cool.
Pretty sweet feature.
It's always down here. You can clip certain things. I clipped a good one of Dr. Disrespect the other day. I can't play it on this program because it'd be highly inappropriate. So yeah, I'm excited for Kenobi. I can't wait to start talking about it. I hope it renews my faith in the Star Wars storytelling. And it's one of those things where it's like, all right, it's familiar. I hope they bring back some nice. The problem with Star Wars, it's like it's so chock full of Easter eggs. It's like, oh, you didn't know that? Oh, that was on the book. From page 36, very in this, right in the middle of the paragraph. You didn't know that? And that's exactly how I am with High Republic in 10 years. But speaking to Kenobi and things of that nature, do you have any final thoughts on Kenobi before we just do a quick Star Wars celebration sounder?
The one last thing, I expect it to be a slow burn.
Okay.
I don't expect this to come out of the gate. I expect it to be a slow, like maybe more poignant of a story, like getting into what Kenobi is going through after everything that went down in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to be like a story about a man troubled with everything. Like I let this kid down and now he's turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
And I had to be the one to like maul him.
Oh,
hey.
Wait a second. I wasn't ready. There it is. Got him. Ro is currently attempting to recruit us, but I'm just gonna say one thing, bud. You can't afford this. Just kidding. We'll chat. We'll chat. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a broken. I mean, we're gonna get a broken Obi for sure. A broken Obi, and you know, I don't know. The only time he gets his redemption is when he sacrifices himself, right? In A New Hope. So we're gonna get sort of maybe a reminiscent, like maybe he's gonna be real happy in flashbacks, and then like it cuts back to where he's at, and he's just miserable. And I think that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool to watch.
I'm hoping it's.
Can't wait.
I doubt it's going to go this way because it's Disney. I'm hoping it's dark.
Yeah,
but I'm hoping. I was expecting Book of Boba Fett to be dark,
oh,
and it was. Don't get me started on lighthearted Boba.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm expecting it to be dark.
Yeah.
And maybe because Moon Knight was so dark, maybe they're just like, all right, let's go there.
Yeah. I didn't really like Moon Knight, but that's another conversation. Oh, Dave's checking in. What's going on, Dave? Looking forward to the Ben Owen dynamic. Yes, we agree. We chatted about that a little bit earlier. But as we do a little quick swerve, final Kenobi. Oh my God, they Amber turded Book of Boba Fett. You got to knock it off.
They shed all over that bed. They just completely shit the bed with Book of Boba.
Confirmed. No witnesses needed. Obi-Wan Kenobi skin has come to Fortnite. It is officially in the item store. I will purchase it almost immediately. I can't wait to do that. So that's exciting. It'll probably be 2,500 V-Bucks, which is just a friggin' tragedy. But I think I've got like 1,850 banked up, as they would say. But we'll get into that. So that's my final Kenobi piece of news. All right. So I started watching. I watched a good. First two episodes. First two episodes tomorrow. 3 a.m. I'll be up at 6. Try to watch it. Andor trailer. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay. So again, this was from a place of negativity earlier, but you've brought me back into the light a little bit with our Kenobi talk. I like the vision of what Andor is trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, however, about what Andor is trying to do. And I aptly summarized it in my wonderful one-sentence summary. Empire shows up, people rebel, old hat.
Yeah.
And that's it. And maybe we get some interesting characters, but none of those characters matter.
No.
Thank you.
Did we need we don't need. We don't even need to ask a question. Was Cassian that big, that interesting of a character that we needed a series about him?
I would prefer a Jyn Erso Saul Guerrera.
Yeah, same.
That like the Battle of Andor.
I'd give me a young Qui-Gon show.
Right. Okay. That's okay. These are going to be quick hitters. All right, second thing.
Skeleton Crew.
Yes, thank you. Skeleton Crew. So Skeleton Crew, Lost Boys meets. Somebody said Goonies. I think that was Scarif that said this is the Goonies in space or something like that, which could be, could very well be. But I'm excited for Jude Law because you don't like Jude Law?
Jude Law is fantastic.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Jude Law, who makes a great Dumbledore. It's a shame that franchise is tanked. Just in Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., right?
Yeah, Watson. He's great as Watson.
Great Watson. Just an excellent actor. And I don't know what he's going to be. I hope he plays maybe a young Lor Santeca.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Make some kind of Santeca because he's got that facial. He looks like him.
He's a little good-looking dude.
He's just a good-looking dude. There are things that I would do to him.
Him and Ewan
together. together in the same crowd. But anyways, wait, is he Snoke? No, he can't be. He can't be. Santeca face. Cassian did things on the rebellion we've never seen before. He's at odds not only with himself, but with his rebellion. Yeah, we talked about how Cassian, I hope the show explores how he got to be more cutthroat. That's kind of where we want it to. Well, that's where I want it to be. You know, Mike has his own opinions on it, but it's probably going to be good, and that's pissing me off.
There were a lot of cinematic shots. I will say that.
Yes, indeed. I like the music, and I like the bells tolling, and I like the nastiness of it. But we'll see. It can't be more episodes than a Mandalorian show, right? Can't be.
Mando's 8 every season.
Maybe 7, 6. Like, what's it going to do? Is it considered a limited series? Like, what is it? What are they going to
do? They all go to that. We're a limited series, but wait, there's another part of our limited series coming in a year.
Yeah, we're going to call it Blue Milk Farming. Okay. The final thing that I caught on Star Wars Celebration, and when the pieces that I could watch, was catching up on the new High Republic stuff. And the only thing I would like to say about that is, you know, they have 3. When this was announced 2 years ago, they had 3 phases. Phase 1 just ended with the destruction of Starlight Beacon, which is like this big space station that's supposed to be a communications relay, medical frigate, you know, like big, just gigantic space station. And it opened with the celebration of it, the opening of it, and it ended with it breaking in half. And it was actually a pretty cool story, because in a novel, it took place in the southern hemisphere of the space station, and in the comic books, it took place in the northern part of it. And the way they wrote the story is that it was completely cut off from each other. So they had 2 different things happening at one time, but they had overlapping chapters and issues. That it was very good storytelling, and I give them credit. So they announced phase 2, and I'm like, man, I wonder where they're going to go with Starlight Beacon now that it's exploded. Blah, 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 blah. And they go, oh, no. Phase 2 has nothing to do with phase 1. In fact, you don't even need to read phase 1, because we're going back 150 years.
Makes 0 sense.
What? So I just invested, and this is where I'm pissed off. I just invested money, right? Comics cost money, 3, 4, you know, and I got to have 30 times 3. You can do the math. Books, time, chatting, energy, to be told that it's irrelevant. I don't have to read it. I can just start with phase 2. Now, the idea of it is kind of cool, because it's called Quest of the Jedi, and it's supposed to be like the Jedi exploring the galaxy at large and discovering all of these things. But the enemy that they built up for 1 full year doesn't exist.
Are they going Skywalker trilogy?
So that's exactly what they said. They was like, oh yeah, we're structuring it like the Skywalker saga, where we started in the middle and now we're going back, and then we're going to finish off after. And I'm like, what? So like, how are they going to take characters from the before, especially 150 years before, and then move it forward? Because now we're 350 years before the prequels. So it's just very, I don't know. It's a little concerning.
Somehow, Palpatine returned.
So seriously, all right. So I have the little golden book of the Rise of Skywalker. I forgot I bought it, and then my daughter Kate was like, "Can we read this tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, I forgot we bought this." I'm always interested to see how they attack the story. There's literally a phrase that just says, somehow the Emperor from the old stories returned. Like, that's exactly how it said. I thought that was so funny. I gotta take a picture of it and put it up on the Instagram. Hold on 1 second. I will call this the best thing Disney Star Wars has given us since Rogue One. I will call this Andor. So he's saying Andor will be the best piece of content since Rogue One. So he's not even counting Mandalorian there, you psychopath.
How dare you?
Was there an announcement about changing Galaxy's Edge? Someone asked me. I didn't see that. I don't know. I got into a big argument with someone on Twitter about how they could change Galaxy's Edge, and I'm like, they've already invested in like this era, so I don't know how they could do it. I suppose they could rebrand it, and man, see what the problem is that they have such a great character in Mandalorian. Imagine the Mandalorian walking around Galaxy's Edge, and
just expand it. There's got to be space.
Well, the problem is that it exists between episodes 8 and 9. That's the story. Just like how in Harry Potter Wizarding World and Universal, I don't know if you've ever been there. I have. It is stuck between 5 and 6. So right after Order of the Phoenix, but before Half-Blood Prince.
Gotcha.
So like, or is it 4 and 5? Something like that, because there's Goblet of Fire shows, right, where they have like the you know what the Durmstan or whatever their names are, and like the Bellatrix, and they're dancing and stuff, and it's this whole, and that though, I mean, that was years ago when I went.
Harry Potter, you were speaking a foreign language.
I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah. So there's 2 other schools.
All I heard was the Peanuts teacher. I was like, yes.
All right. I do know about rebranding, and I don't think Galaxy's Edge can be rebranded. I don't think Rise of Resistance, what they spent money on, can be rebranded very easily without them A, admitting defeat, and B, putting so much money into it. That's where my point is. For me, it cost me $0 to change my name. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's what I have right now in Star Wars Celebration. More to come tomorrow, I suppose, with announcements. Hopefully, we get some movie stuff. But I don't know
what's the next movie? Didn't Rogue Squadron get delayed or pushed back even farther?
It's pushed back. Ryan Johnson's is still in the works. He's just working on Knives Out and whatever Netflix series he's on.
Taika has been
is still there,
but we know nothing about it.
Yeah, I think they're focusing strictly on the Disney Plus. You know, Ahsoka's in full production now. Filoni and Favreau were on stage together. I watched that little segment. That was wonderful. I mean, they didn't say anything, of course, but
do we have a date on Ahsoka? Because we have a date on Mando now. Mando's February.
I don't know. I mean, they just started, so my guess would be end 2023, early 2024. Be my guess. I think I saw that her contrails are longer in Ahsoka.
Oh, thank God. I would have to write a letter.
Just one letter, or would you put them together to make words?
I would just write letter. Be like,
just the word letter.
Letter. Letter.
2023, Scarif. Thank you so much. So yeah, they did a it was like a 6 or 7 hour great live show, great production on it, and lots of cool toys coming out and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Marvel and Disney, I just want a show about a bad guy. I'm tired of seeing the closest they get to a bad guy is a troubled guy who ends up being a good guy.
Who's that?
Mando.
Oh, right. Troubled.
Or like even Moon Knight, troubled guy who ends up being a good guy in the end.
Yeah.
Like I want a story about a straight up bad guy. I want darkness.
I want to see something from the Empire's point of view.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Exactly.
It should be called Empire Rising, right? And it's just episode of just tyrannical dominance every episode, and like you're uncomfortable watching it.
Or like that book I started to read and then stopped, the Death Star book.
Death Star was good.
Just give me that.
Yeah.
From different points of view of different people on the Death Star up until Luke blows it up.
Yeah.
Give me that show. That would be awesome.
Yes, indeed. So, anywho's, what time do you plan on watching it tomorrow, Kenobi? Do you have work? Are you off?
I do have work tomorrow. I am going to try. Like, I don't even know if this is a plug or not. This isn't a plug. It's just
Plug away.
amazing. So since we moved, we upgraded our mattress and we got the Casper mattress.
Oh yeah,
Holy shit, this thing's amazing.
nice.
And I like can't get up. I'm just gonna sleep more.
Stress
Nom, nom, nom,
that
nom, nom.
disappears, just like Casper.
So hey, I am going to try to get up for 4. I'm gonna try to get up at 4.
Okay.
So I could watch it. Get down here maybe like 4:30 and watch
Okay.
it.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can do that. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, I'm gonna watch it early tomorrow. Scarif Scuttlebutt gonna watch it early tomorrow.
Sweet dreams, Bo.
We have to
Ro, not Bo.
Hey Bobo. Hey Bobo. We're gonna see what our schedule will look like when we talk about the breakdown for Kenobi. We'll let you know. Usually it falls on Thursday, but is it every Friday or is it every Wednesday?
I think it's switching to Wednesdays after this. I think they just switched it to Friday because I honestly think they wanted to compete with Stranger Things and Netflix. That's why they released it Friday instead of.
This could be their barometer on that. You know what I mean? Like they know they were going up against something big.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Stranger Things releasing all 7 episodes, at least half of the season, I think that's ridiculous. But I'm so used to the weekly, like I'm used to it now.
I
don't like it.
I don't like all of them at once. Give me
because guess what? Someone has already watched the mid-season finale and is posting about it.
Yeah.
And that means you have to race against the clock to watch it, like Damien will be tomorrow.
Exactly. I don't want to have to watch an entire season in one day because some douche is going to spoil it for me.
We call them jagaloons, as they would say. So, all right. Well, we'll reconvene. Make sure you check out and take a look and follow. Stay off socials, baby. Yeah, you get it. Listen, I don't have to be the preacher on that. I tell everybody, if you don't want to be spoiled on something, stay off social media. It's easy. Sorry, it is. You know, unless it's your job to be on social media.
I'm not even talking about social media. I'm talking about like real life, everyday douches that will be like, "Hey, did you see that this happened in episode 8 that was just released this morning?"
Yeah, well, those people got to go. You know, if you get, I tell the kids, I tell the students, I said, listen, it's 2 days on streaming, 2 days, and 2 weeks in theaters. Like I still haven't seen Doctor Strange, so now I'm actually beyond my own embargo. So whatever, you know, it is what it is. I'll eventually.
So let me tell you about Doctor Strange.
All right, everybody. So we're just gonna knock it. I'm just kidding. You're back. So this was a great trial run. We went 58 minutes and 25 seconds on.
For us.
This is good. We did good for 2 people. Just BSing around. But big shout out to Scarif for hanging out with us and chatting away. I appreciate that, sir. Dave, you're just okay. That's per normal. Mikey, it's been this is great. I'm glad. I'm reinvigorated, and now I'm going to go to sleep. That's going to be the goal here. I can't wait to go to bed.
Damien, always a pleasure, Damien.
Yes. Damien, you were great. I appreciate you. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Don't forget to follow Extra Star Wars on all the platforms. You can find all those links over at bio.link/extra-tanky. And don't forget to follow the Red 5 Network and all that good stuff. I don't have any graphic to send us out, so I'm just going to pick a random one, and I don't even know. Wait, let me do something here. Let me bring up one of my Fortnite videos.
And you could check out me on OnlyFans at Show Me Your Naboobies.
And with that, we end our show. Enjoy backingtrack.gg.